Ever felt completely ridiculous when you are making investment decisions and you have hindsight and you're trying to figure out what the heck was I thinking and why did I do that? And now I feel stupid. Well, if you have ever felt like this, also, this episode is for you. We are talking all about how we make decisions, how we can manage failure, and what actually we can take from this, what actually can help and what can hurt. So let's get into it. So welcome to this episode of Market Mindset with Leslie Quander. I am Leslie Quander, and as we mentioned, we are talking all about how we can feel stupid when it comes to investing decisions, how we can question ourselves, how, hindsight is 20/20, as they say, and it is very true. When you are looking behind you, everything is super clear, but when you are in the moment, it can be very confusing. You have no idea what's going on. And so we're talking about kind of how to manage that. Now, as this episode records, we are right after the big catastrophe with Luna. We are right after seeing the markets, crash again. We are seeing altcoins, some of them down 60, 70%. We're seeing Bitcoin down many percentage points. We're seeing, still down from its highs. It's been kind of hanging in there pretty well, but it is just, kind of not doing very well overall when we compare it to all-time highs. And so, a lot of people have lost money in their portfolios. And notice I'm being very careful to say lost money in their portfolios, because as we know, you don't gain money and you don't lose money until you cash out. So, we're seeing a lot of people down in their portfolios. We're seeing a lot of people, really upset. I actually posted about this. If you are feeling in any way, very upset, very depressed, very down, that's definitely an opportunity for you to please seek professional help, because nothing is worth losing your life over in this market. But if you are just in a space where you're feeling ridiculous, you're feeling stupid, you're feeling like you should have seen this coming, like what was up? What happened to your TA? If you're just questioning everything, I want to talk to you about that today, because the fact is, when it comes to investing, just like when it comes to life, you win some and you lose some. We're going to lose some. It happens, right? And so if your portfolio is down and you're thinking, oh my gosh, it'll never come up, depending on what you're invested in, we know that some altcoins never ever reach all-time highs again. We know that some altcoins go away forever and we never see them. We know that some are scams. We know that some are rug pulls. Wait for it. I'm not trying to be depressing. Wait 1 minute. So it's possible that some of them may never come back, depending on what you're invested in. But it's also possible that if you continue to hold, if you learn the lessons that this market has dealt to you, and me, I'm right there with you, that you could do better in the next cycle. So I want to talk about feeling stupid and kind of blaming ourselves, because I know a lot of people who are invested in this market. I've been in the market for years. I know traders, I know investors, and across the board, I would say the people that I've been talking to have seen some losses, right? It's just a fact. It doesn't matter how long you've been in. Nobody can be right all the time. And so the first thing I want to tell you, if you are feeling really down, is just to remember that you are not alone. Other people are in the market with you. None of us are fortune tellers. If you do know a fortune teller, I would be very curious to know who this is, but none of us are fortune tellers. None of us know what's going to happen. So you are not alone in this space of feeling like a little let down or a little sad. The second thing that I would like to tell you about feeling stupid is that you can learn from this, right? There's a difference between saying, okay, I made a stupid decision, and then there's this difference in saying, okay, but I'm stupid. Because the fact is, when you feel stupid, that can be a sign that there are lessons to learn, right? That can be a sign. And again, for all of us, reminder to myself, that can be a lesson that maybe you want to take a little bit more profits, right? Maybe you want to have some stop losses set the next time that things really get going. Maybe you want to have things mapped out a little bit instead of being, maybe as willy-nilly. Maybe you don't want to get in and out of coins. Maybe you want to have fewer tokens in your portfolio portfolio. Whatever it is, I just want to encourage you that the feeling stupid feeling that you may have, the feeling sad feeling that you may have, the feeling down feeling that you may have, these are valid feelings. But these are also chances for us to learn. They are also chances for us to grow. So the third thing also that I want to tell you is that feeling stupid is sort of kind of like something that we do sometimes as humans, right? We can really beat ourselves up if we're not careful. We can really get down on ourselves, and somehow we think that this is maybe helpful, or somehow we're comfortable doing that. But I also want to tell you that literally it's very difficult to find success. Now, luck is one thing, okay? But it's very difficult to find success without also finding failure. Think about anyone who's ever invented anything. For example, think about in the drug realm, right? How people are coming up with pharmaceuticals, and think about how many clinical trials didn't really work out right in the beginning. Or think about people who are inventing things, and think about how many inventions they went through, how many things didn't work before they finally landed on the thing that did. And actually, one really interesting thing I've noticed about failure is that something could be a failure on the face of it, but then give you an idea about how to do things better, or then let you meet somebody, right? Like you're failing, maybe you're commiserating over the decisions you made, and then you meet somebody who shows you a better way, right? Like we don't get there unless we are first willing to fail. We don't find success unless we're first willing to fail. So I want to encourage you, if you are feeling stupid, it doesn't need to be a permanent thing. It's just a thing that you need to sort of, feel in the moment, and then, be willing to let that go. The third thing I want to say is that there are a lot of lessons to learn in the market. I know there are a lot of people on, crypto Twitter. Some people say they saw this coming. Some people, were very surprised, for example, by the Luna collapse, right? So you never really know, right? Again, it doesn't matter who we're following. It doesn't matter, who we are looking up to. There are a lot of great, wonderful people in the space. But I just want to say at the end of the day, we're taking some chances, right? Like investing involves obviously making educated decisions, but we don't necessarily know what's going to happen. We are in a very uncertain time. A token might be super interesting and wonderful and have a great use case. But then, as we're dealing with all of these world events, as we're dealing with things that we never necessarily would have expected during this cycle, those kind of things kind of take a back seat to the narrative or to sentiment or whatever it is. This market is very psychological. So as we start to wind up, I just want to encourage you, if you are feeling stupid, remember you are not alone. Remember not to beat up on yourself too much. Hindsight is 2020. Use this as an opportunity to grow, to learn. Don't get stuck here, okay? No matter what you do, we cannot get stuck here. I know even for myself, I was thinking, wow, I should have maybe done this a little bit differently, or I should have done that differently, right? Because I saw my portfolio go down too. I'm with you, right? But I just decided to learn from it. And I am always learning in this space. And I think that's a really wonderful thing about crypto, is that there's something to learn literally every single day. There's someone new to talk to. There's someone who has another perspective. We did an episode about herd mentality and not going along with the crowd, right? Making your own decisions, being really comfortable with why you're doing what you're doing. And this is just another example of being really good with yourself, being at one with yourself, being at peace with the decisions that you made, for good or for bad. This is where we are right now. And then learning from them as much as you can as things move forward. So if you're feeling stupid, I would say also, or if you're feeling like dumb or like a failure, also just do what you can. And this is not financial advice specifically, but just do what you can to preserve what you can, right? Do what you can to have yourself still in a place able to position yourself as the months go on. Remember those tenets of investing: never invest more than you can afford to lose. We say that for a reason, because this is such a volatile market. It's so crazy. And yet if you are in it like I'm in it, then you probably also can see how much there is to love about it as well. So Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Market Mindset. This was a quick one. I would love to know from you if you're watching, have you ever felt stupid? Have you ever felt like totally ridiculous? Like, how did I not see this coming? Or why didn't I take more profits? Or why didn't I hold this one so long? I just want to say, everyone, I would say, I think I can say this, everyone has a story like that, right? There are people who think they sold too early. There are people who think they sold too late. There are people who thought they held too long or didn't hold long enough. We all have that story. And so at the end of the day, just try to be kind to yourself and try to learn as much as you can from the situation that we're in and position yourself for the future. All right. Thank you for listening today. Please continue to tune in with me and have a wonderful, wonderful day, as good as you possibly can. On a serious note, I know that things are hard these days. I know that we're getting some news that's not really good. So please also take care of your mental health, take care of yourself, and be well. Okay. Until next time.